Hello, my name is Rachel Webb. Welcome to Statistics. This course has three parts. The first part is going to be descriptive statistics, where we describe data graphically and numerically. The first part may even be review for some people, may have seen this in earlier high school courses, for instance. And it's somewhat on the easier side, so we go through that content a little fast. And the next part is probability, the math behind chance. This might be a little bit more difficult content you may not have seen before. And some people consider that really fun. Some people may not, but I like the probability section too. With these two topics combined, then we'll run into what we call inferential statistics. This is just the last 2 weeks of class. And we use those descriptive statistics that we describe our sample with, and we use that to infer back to what's happening in the population. I think that's kind of the more exciting stuff, but we'll explore more of that in our second sequence course in Stat 244. This course just touches on inferential statistics the last little bit. This course is really fast-paced, so I am putting together a video for tips on how to pass the class. So why study statistics? Most of you here because this course is required for a major. Hopefully this course will change your mind. Statistics is interesting and maybe even a little fun. Do you have insurance? Have you ever been to the doctor? Do you ever look at a weather report? Have you ever gambled? Have you ever voted? Notice that margin of error? Do you watch sports? Do you own or wish to own stocks or investments? Have you ever filled out a survey? Do you use social media? I know you've taken a test. If you recognize these brands, then you have already or may have already used statistics. Picture a traditional college class, a teacher at the front of the room lecturing, reading PowerPoints with concepts and formulas for studying students to copy. Questions may get answered, an assignment is given. A lot of times students will hunt and peck or look in the back of the book for those answers. Look familiar? Now throw that image away. Of course, I would highly recommend that you spend most of your time taking notes, then actively doing problems only with your notes. Learning by doing rather than observing may feel different, but it can also be very helpful, interesting, maybe even exciting. Here are some recommendations on how to be successful in statistics. So one of the things I would highly recommend is a distraction-free study place. Very important for this course, when you have a complex problem, you're right in the middle of it, you get interrupted, you have all sorts of screens open, maybe your phone is pinging away or ringing. It really can interrupt the flow of your work. So pick a place that works best for you. I personally work really well in a busy coffee shop with some headphones on, and I completely ignore everybody. Some people may need a really quiet place to work. Find what works for you. Taking notes is going to be crucial for this course. There are lots of different styles of taking notes. You may have not found the best note-taking style yet for you. Are you an artist? Have you explored sketch notes? Cornell notes are great for keeping organized notes. There are many different techniques. You can use a matrix, you can use mind maps, all sorts of different styles or a combination of those styles. Here's a link to a video that even explores note-taking a little bit farther. You might also think about your learning style. If you're a visual learner versus an auditory learner or a kinetic learner, you might have a different study technique by your learning style. I cannot stress enough that you need to practice exercises, not just read them. If you learn to drive, you start out observing others driving, then reading about it, maybe taking your written test, but you don't really learn to drive until you get behind the wheel. Statistics is similar, and the more you practice, the better you will get. Spend extra time creating your notes for exams. Use color, for instance. Highlight section headers. That always helps. Line breaks, anything without different pen colors when there's a new topic. All of those are great ways. Design your notes in a way that you can use them later to quiz yourself. Maybe leave space after you have a written example, and later you can come back, cover that work up, and see if you can answer that question without looking. Make your own study guide and quiz yourself, or have other people in your study group quiz you. Can you copy a problem, close your notebook, and explain how it's solved without any help? If you can't without your notes, you know what you need to work on. Mix it up. The course content moves through topics in an order, right? We're going to go from chapters 1 through 8, but on the exams, the order is definitely going to be mixed up. So make a habit of revisiting prior material. Try using the 80-20 rule. Spend 80% of your time practicing the material from the current topic and 20% practicing material from the previous topics. Get organized. Date everything. Keep materials in order from the first day to the last day of class. A 3-ring binder may work well for printed material going through, or keep a digital folder and label everything so that when you open up that folder, it's all in order for yourself. Correct your work. So after you get any graded work or feedback on work, go back through that graded work. Did you do it incorrectly? Fix it. And then also write out that process, like what steps did you actually plug into the calculator so your future self can help. Well, thank you, actually. Time management, very important. Past students in this course have told me that a minimum of 8 hours was spent approximately, sometimes a lot more on, say, midterm week or final exam week. So here's kind of an example from a previous student on time that they spent in the course to be successful. Schedule time throughout the week, like this was an in-person class. Add these times to like your Google Calendar with notifications. Schedule times for different things, for homework, labs, quizzes, studying for exams, that kind of stuff. Look at the course calendar that's on the syllabus and find out what sections are going to be covered that week. Add them to your calendar. Go through the sections of the textbooks, taking detailed notes. Have your computer, calculator, everything that you need to study well in one place so that you are just really organized, maybe on a desk that you always go to. Read the textbook. Read ahead. We cover chapters 1 through 8 in this class, and then the rest of the textbook in Stat 244. A lot of that content is already in your organized lessons, so you don't have to necessarily read the textbook. You can get away with just watching the videos and reading the online text, but there's nothing wrong with just opening that book up and doing as many practice problems as you can. The odd problems are answered in the back, for instance. Anytime you're stuck, make a list of those questions. Bring them to my office hours. There are free tutors available for. Post those questions on the discussion board so that your peers and myself can answer them. Take advantage of the free tutoring at the Learning Center. So if you go to this website here, there is a calendar for both in-person and online tutoring. You can just check in anytime you want. The Learning Center also has academic coaches, which are free. It will help you just become a better student. Talk with your advisor as well. Form a study group. It can be pretty annoying to show up and nothing really happens in a study group. So plan it out and consider different ways to make that productive. Maybe even start like a Discord group or Slack channel, things of that sort. But the discussion boards on Canvas are also set up for you to form study groups. I utilize my office hours. So that my office hours are for you to just make an appointment on Zoom this quarter, but feel free anytime to reach out with anything small that you want. Come with any type of problem that you're stuck on. If you're lost and you really don't even know what to do, drop in and we can make a study plan and get you back on track. So going to college may feel overwhelming. You're busy, life can throw you all sorts of distractions and hurdles, but commit yourself to looking at stats every day. Every day, a little bit every day is better than a weekly cramming. The more consistently you practice and evaluate yourself, the more you're already prepared for your tests. Practice, practice, and more practice. That is how you get good at the subject. And you can do this.